Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the lecture series of English language teaching. We are discussing the last module of ELT, evaluation. In our previous classes, we were discussed about evaluation and its various aspects. And this is the last lecture of the series. In this lecture, we are discussing more about question paper designing. First of all, let us check certain guidelines of question paper designing. So my dear students, you are all familiar with question papers and you know the different components of a question paper. Usually a question paper begins with an introductory part, and this introductory part contains the name of the examination, subject, marks and also the time. Okay, so in a question paper, usually marks are shown on the right side of the questions. And these questions are arranged into different sections like section A, section B, section C, etc. on the basis of the nature of questions. Some questions carry objective type questions, very short answer type questions, and also essay questions. So these types of questions are arranged into various sections. And you can also see the instructions in a question paper. Two types of instructions are there: general instructions and also specific instructions. These instructions are placed on the beginning of the set of questions. So these are the different items you can see in a question paper. Now let's move on to the guidelines for setting a good question paper. As I said you earlier, examinations have an important role in the process of education. Education or evaluation of a student's scholastic achievement it is made mainly by conducting written examinations. So for conducting written examinations, a question paper is a necessary thing. It is usual for a teacher to prepare a test by assembling questions on the spur of the moment without much preparation, but that's a wrong thing. When you design a question paper, you must follow the desirable attributes like validity, reliability and usability. So I have already mentioned about validity, reliability and usability in one of our previous classes. And while you prepare a test, the test should be in such a length that can be administered within the stipulated time. For example, if the test is for 2 hours, the students can answer that test in 2 hours. So it should not be too long or too short. Second thing, clear instructions must be given in the question paper. And also you must categorize your questions into various sections, and that will help you to make the evaluation process easily. And you must show the marks awarded for each questions on the right side of the question. So these things you must follow while setting up a question paper. Now let's check what are the different steps of a test construction. So a question paper construction, it is not an easy job. Whether it is a unit test or for a full-fledged final examination, you must follow the 6 different steps while preparing a good question paper. The first step is preparation of a design. Second one, preparation of a blueprint. Third one, prepare questions based on the blueprint. Fourth stage is assembling the question paper. Fifth one is preparing the scoring key and marking scheme. And the last stage is preparing a question-wise analysis. So the first stage is preparation of a design. So a test is not merely a collection of assorted questions. For making an effective test, you must give weightage to the objectives, contents and different forms of questions. Okay, so in this stage, the first thing we have to keep in our mind, we should give weightage to the objectives. In an English language testing, 3 major objectives are tested, like knowledge, comprehension and expression. So you must give weightage to all these 3 objectives. Objectives, when you plan a chapter itself, you can see what are the general objectives and also the specific objectives. So when you prepare the question paper, you must give weightage to the objectives. So here I am taking an example, as you seen in this slide. Here I am taking an example of a test of 50 marks. I gave the weightage to different objectives like knowledge, comprehension and also expression. So 10% weightage is given to check the knowledge level of the student, and 40% to check the comprehension skill, and 50% to expression. That is, out of 50 marks, 5 marks is allotted for checking knowledge level, 20 marks for checking comprehension, and 25 marks is for expression. So you must give weightage to objectives when you construct a test. Second thing is, you must give weightage to different areas of content. That is, when you prepare a lesson plan, it is usual that you mention the specific objective of a particular chapter. So while preparing a question paper, you must give weightage to different content areas. So in this test, I am taking an example, as you seen in this slide. I am taking an example for a 50-mark question. In this particular test, the various content area I selected is reading skills, writing skills, and textual content. So 30% marks is given to check the reading skills. Again 30% to check the writing skills, and the rest of the 40% to check the textual content. So the marks are distributed in such a way: 15 marks for reading skills, 15 for writing skills, and 20 marks for textual content. So in this way, I am giving the weightage to the content area. Next thing is weightage to different forms of questions. As I mentioned you earlier, you must include various types of test questions in a test. Essay type questions are there, short answer types are there. So you must include different types of questions. So in my example, I took 3 types of questions: essay type questions, short answer type questions, and very short answer type question. So you must give the priority to these types of questions, and marks will be awarded on the basis of these 3 different types of questions. And the next one is, in the preparation of the design of a question paper itself, you must think about sections, different sections. This is, I had already mentioned sections. When you analyze this question paper, you can see different sections. These sections are arranged on the basis of types of questions. Section A usually carries objective type question. Section B usually very short answer type. Section C short answer type, and last section it is usually essay type questions. And next thing you must take into consideration is scheme of options. In some question papers, you can see the options are given, like choose any 5 from the given 7 questions, or choose any 10 from the given 12 questions. So you can give the options also. Some question paper doesn't have any options. So these things a test setter can decide herself. Anyway, you must design your questions in such a way that it carry 20% of easy questions, and 20% of difficult question, and 60% of average question. Anyway, we can decide the level of questions on the basis of the level of the students. So when you arrange the questions, that is 20% of easy questions, and 20 difficult questions, and 60% average question, all the students in your class can answer. So that is the first stage of question paper designing. The first stage is preparation of a design. The second stage is preparation of a blueprint. So in the first stage, we had already made a design to our question paper. In the second stage, you are going to prepare a blueprint. In this blueprint, what you are going to do is, in the previous stage, we had already made some decision on the weightages. So please transfer that weightages into the blueprint. So here you are transferring the weightages into the blueprint of a question paper. A blueprint, as you know, it is a 3-dimensional chart, shows the placement of each question in respect of the objectives and content areas. It should indicate the marks of each questions. So when you started writing a blueprint, you must indicate the subject, class, maximum marks, and time. So here in this example, as you can see in this slide, I gave an example of a blueprint. Here I am preparing the question paper for 9th standard English question. So the subject is indicated as English class 9th, and on the right side maximum marks for it is for 50 marks and time for 2 hours. And you must, when you prepare the blueprint, you arrange the objectives horizontally and content areas vertically. So here in this example, I arranged the objectives horizontally: knowledge, comprehension and expression. I arranged these objectives horizontally, and the content areas, reading skills, writing skills, grammar and textuals, I arranged it vertically. And each objectives are further divided into 4 columns. Here as you seen in this example, knowledge is again divided into E, essay, VSA and O. E suggests essay type question, essay suggests short answer type, VSA suggests very short answer type and O suggests objective type. Okay, so next thing you must do is to transfer the decisions of weightages into various objectives and content areas. And here in this example, I shows the marks of questions outside the bracket and number of questions inside it. So for this test, I selected 4 types of questions: objective type questions, very short answer type, essay questions and short answer type question. 1 mark for objective type question, 2 for very short answer type, 4 marks for short answer type and 7 for essay type questions. So after that, calculate the subtotals. After arranging these marks into different columns, so on the basis of the weightages you gave in the first stage. So after arranging these marks in the various columns, make the subtotal. Make the subtotal as you can see in this slide. So for reading skills, I gave the marks for total 6 marks for reading skills and 17 marks for writing skills and 6 marks for grammar and 21 marks for textual analysis. And if you analyze, if you checked in the objective level, for knowledge I gave 13 marks and for comprehension I gave 16 marks and for expression I gave 21 marks. So it should tally each other. The marks for content areas and the marks for objectives, it should tally each other. So here in this particular test, in this particular blueprint, total 21 questions are there and the marks for this test paper test is 50 marks. So in this way you must prepare a blueprint. Okay, so that is the second stage of a test construction. That is second stage is preparation of a blueprint. So after completing the blueprint, you can give a summary of it. What are the different types of questions included in this particular blueprint? If there is any expansion, you must show the expansions after the blueprint. Then after that you can check. Okay, you can check the sections. If you are ready to arrange these questions into different sections, you can also show the information about sections in the summary of the blueprint. So all these things should be enlisted in the blueprint. So this is the second stage of test construction, that is preparation of blueprint. The third stage of question paper designing is preparation of questions based on blueprint. Okay, so when your blueprint is ready, prepare the questions based on the specific objectives of teaching as indicated in the blueprint. So here in the given example, I made 2 essay questions. So one for analyzing the student's writing skills and the other for analyzing his textual knowledge. If you look at this, look at that blueprint, you can see that one from the content area of writing skills and the other from the textual knowledge. So you must prepare questions, these 2 essay questions from these relevant areas. And when you prepare the questions, use clear, correct and precise language. If you use any complicated language, your child will get ambiguous. So you must use clear and correct language. That is about the third stage, preparation of questions based on blueprint. And the next stage is assembling the question paper. So now we are all ready with different questions, but we are not assembled that questions in the form of a question paper. So the next stage is assembling the question paper. So in this stage, questions are assembled into question paper format. So here you can add instructions. Instruction, as I mentioned earlier, in two types of instructions are there: general instructions and specific instructions. So here in this example, in the slide I gave you an example. In this example you can see the instructions, specific instructions. So specific instruction is arranged at the just beginning of the question set. Okay, so you must include instructions, and order of the questions are decided in this stage. Okay, which should comes first. Normally in a question paper, MCQ or objective type questions are arranged first. So after that, very short answer type, then short answer type, and the last section is essay type. So order of the questions are decided in this stage. And the next thing is, if the questions are divided into various sections, that is also indicated in this session. So arranging the questions in a question paper format, that is happening in this stage, assembling the question paper. You can cross check with the example I had given in this slide. So these are the things that must do in this stage, assembling a question paper. The next stage of question paper setting is preparing the scoring key and marking scheme. When your question paper is ready, you must prepare the scoring key and marking scheme that will help you to make the evaluation process easy. So scoring key is to be prepared for objective type questions and marking scheme for other questions. So as you see in this given example, in the slide I had given you an example. In this examples you can see scoring key is given for objective type questions and marking scheme for other type of question. The marking scheme gives the expected outline answer and the value points for each aspect of the answer. So it is in the marking scheme, it is given that how many marks should be deduced for grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes. So thus kind of a detailed marking scheme is necessary to ensure the consistency and uniformity of your test. So that is about the stage preparing the scoring key and marking scheme. And the last stage of question paper setting is preparing question wise analysis. This helps you to tally the questions in the test with the blueprint, and it also helps you to know the strength and weakness of your test. In the question paper analysis, it is an example is given in the slide, and it is from this you can see that the question wise analysis is shown the number of questions, the objective tested by the question, and the marks are allotted for each question, and how much time is taken for answering that questions. Then what types of question, forms of questions, and topic, which are the topic covered and from which chapter it is asked. All these things are listed in the question wise analysis. So it is really helpful for the teacher to make the analysis of the test as a whole. So these are the 6 different stages of setting a question paper. So first stage is preparation of a design, second one is preparation of a blueprint, third one is preparation of questions based on the blueprint, fourth one is assembling the question paper, fifth one is preparing the scoring key and marking scheme, and the last one is preparing a question wise analysis. I hope you understood various topics discussed today. So we are completing the paper ELT. Prepare well for the examination. See you next time with a new subject. Stay safe, keep learning. Thank you.